Namaste, I am Shiv Mathur. I was thinking since quite some time, though I have to make video discussing the finer aspects of meditation, or even clarify what exactly is meditation, what is the meaning of word meditation, why is this word used, and do people really understand? Do they really know what is meditation? So many people have certainly heard, because they are in stress or they have started questioning about life. So for whatever reason, they when they come across this word meditation, they have no idea what is meditation, because meditation has not been taught in schools. In our materialistic teachings in the schools, there's no teaching about humanity, human values, moral values. What is this life, human life about? There's no teaching now in the modern education system. So one fine day, somebody comes across this word meditation, because now you need it probably. But again, depends how sincere the seeker is now. So then today's modern world, people go into a search mode to really understand what human life is, and that's how the world is moving today. And in such a situation, people they come across this word meditation. Now the whole problem is that there is a lot of confusion, and there are so many yoga schools or meditation teachers, and everybody has made their own brand. It's been branded. There are, I don't know how many techniques, different names, and so there's a huge. It's a market actually. When something which is very simple has been sold, something which is not to be sold is being sold, and it has got different names and different meanings and different techniques, then obviously this becomes a market. And it's not a small market. I believe it's a huge industry now. But it's an unorganized sector, unregulated, no standards, no certificates, no course. So it's a wide, chaotic place where people, the seekers, searchers go and enter and try to find out what is meditation. So that's the background. I thought it's better to give this background, because people will say, why am I talking about meditation? No, I am talking because I did attain some state of mind, and I did get some clarity through my own explorations. In fact, I found a better word, that I've been exploring, spiritual explorer, but now I'm realizing instead of that, I would say I'm a spiritual investigator. Actually, you can call it investigation also, because again, it's out in the open. You have to find your own way to explore and find things. Now, giving a background, ancient background to this whole thing. In India, the rishi munis, the yogis, they actually did this research. They were like scientists. Rishis were scientists. And they used to go into this deep tapasya, and they used to explore and get answers by doing self-inquiry and by going into deep meditations for a very prolonged period of time. Prolonged period means not just a couple of hours, but they used to meditate for days together. And this tapasya means so-and-so rishi did tapasya for 1 year, 2 years, or 1,000 years. So there are different, versions available, or stories, and through which we only can now quote them to get an idea about what was tapasya and what was meditation. So that's a background, that they found answers about humanity and how this whole society got evolved, who created this society, how these families and communities were defined from something which was did not exist some civilizations back. So how this human evolution happened, and how did people get the answers, how did they come to know there were planets, the whole planetary system, the astrology, and the the astrology is so old. It's old science in India. It's not. So they knew the planets before even the modern science found it or invented telescopes or could see with their telescope and eyes. How did those rishis found it? So it was through self-inquiry, through these yogic practices, and actually meditation. So meditation is one English word. It doesn't have any clear meaning, if you say. But in Hindi, if you go back to the science from where it came, if suppose you say it came from India, then there are two words here. One is tapasya, one is dhyan. Now, dhyan is a state of mind. Dhyan is a state of mind. And dhyan is actually what we call as meditation these days. But people say we have to do dhyan or we have to do meditation. It is not, there's nothing to be done. You reach that state, and how you reach that state of mind where you are free from thoughts, where your mind is, dhyan means focus, dhyan means attention. It's a state of focus. Your mind can focus. Your mind can focus on what you're doing. Your mind can be attentive, and there are no distractions. So there is concentration, or there is focus, or there is attention. So this is a state which you achieve. Now you can't achieve this state by those commercial techniques and this and that. Those are only techniques, like they will give you like a trailer. They'll give you how will you feel when you reach that state of dhyan. For that, through those techniques, you are able to feel good. What does it feel good is? You reach for those few minutes that state, but you can't stay in that state. It is only giving you an example of when you are in that state, how will you feel. But you don't go to get that feeling for a short time and then you say, I did meditation. You don't do meditation. You reach that state. When you do meditation, after reaching that state, that is called tapasya. Tapasya is a prolonged period of dhyan. And for that, the rishis, they sat in a certain pose. It's a lotus pose where you sit with your back straight, perfect posture. And the perfect posture was called asan siddhi. So there was a preparation before people started doing tapasya or meditation for a prolonged period. That was doing meditation. Today we say, you make me meditate or I will meditate. It's all fooling everyone. The whole world is fooling everyone, and that's become the norm now. And the whole world is still following that, and they don't get any results. They don't know what results to be obtained, and what neither the teacher tells nor the student. One student told me, how can we ask the teacher? We can't ask the teacher. So you don't ask the teacher doesn't know anything, has not achieved that state of dhyan. So she cannot even explain you. So everybody is just blindly in a rat race following it, and the whole world, there are centers, teachers, books and whatnot, and it's all going in this Kalyug. This is Kalyug. So 95% people are fools. For those fools, there are people who are going to fool them, and that's the cycle we are in. So now I'll again come back to dhyan, which is actually a state of mind. So how do you reach that state of mind? That's called sadhana. So that when you understand the life or the realities of life, then you have to bring that in your life. And when you start living that way, in a lifestyle, with the kind of right processing of thought, with the right understanding of every situation in life, you slowly then evolve, purify. You purify your mind, remove all the negative thoughts by understanding how the thoughts are triggered due to your conditioning, wrong conditioning, the impurities which were brought in during your conditioning in this society, with this all modern influences, so the way the mind, brain started processing all the inputs created a lot of wrong perceptions and negative thoughts. So now you have to recondition it. So you have to realize that what has gone wrong, why it has gone wrong, what is the need for a human being to behave, what should be the behavior, what should be the habits, what are the wrong habits. Then you recondition, then you live it. So this is what it's like, through self-inquiry, and by living that, bringing those changes, transforming yourself, and then the mind becomes different. It starts perceiving, processing things differently, and then the purification happens. And then you reach a state where the mind is now focused, it's freed from all the negative thoughts. Now it's in a state of control. So you have attained mastery over the mind, or you can call in Hindi mind siddhi. Siddhi is mastery. Similarly, now you have attained mind control. Now you also need to have body control, because then you can do tapasya, or then you can do meditation. To be able to do meditation or that tapasya also had a word in English called penance, but penance is many meaning. But in here the meaning is tough practice. It's a very tough practice where you don't eat, you go into meditation for days or months. So it's very hard practice, austerity, simplicity, full purification of mind, full purification of body. You can sit in that pose and body will be still for a long time. So there is a purification of body. What you eat, can you sit in that pose for hours together without the body disturbing you? So when you have controlled all, it is very difficult. It's not easy. And people don't have time to do all this. People want something very, very quick. So they go to these techniques because people are all in a hurry. So there are teachers selling something which they want, which the seekers want. Seekers feel I should get something in a shortcut. Everybody wants shortcuts, so shortcuts are being sold. If I tell you it will take you 3 months of study, or 6 months of practice, you say I don't have time. People give excuses. So this is not a priority in life today. Priority in life is only materialistic life. All those excuses are there. They will eat, they will be on digital addiction, this and that. They have everything else is a priority in life, but when it comes to this, there's no priority. That's a fact. And that's why these quick fix solutions are being sold as meditation. So when you control the body, when you control the mind, when you purify it, when you have that siddhi, asan siddhi, mind siddhi, then you do tapasya. And when they sat like that, closing their eyes, people, that was meditation. That's real meditation. There is a goal to find something, to research. You're doing a research. You want to know how the universe, how the creation works, how your body works. How did people know about the whole body in ancient times? They did not dissect the body. This modern science was not available, but everything existed even much more advanced than the modern science. Modern science has got huge limitations. Modern science has not been able to decode the brain. And it is not very complicated. So if you spiritually go into the scientific analysis and through self-inquiry, you will get answers. Science is logic. And when you do Atma Chintan or the self-inquiry or self-analysis through meditation, when you do that meditation, then you will get answers, because you are logically analyzing it with Dhyan, with focus. And when you do that, you start getting answers. It's all inside. Humans have everything inside. We connect to our inside. Right now, what is happening is Dhyan. Why you are not able to have a Dhyan? Why you are not able to have a focus? Because there is a constant connection with the external world. Attachments and expectations and belongingness, possessiveness. There is constantly something bothering you. Because of that, you are not able to have that Dhyan. These techniques will not give you that Dhyan, state of Dhyan. And when you can't have Dhyan, you can't do meditation. So Dhyan has to be achieved to do meditation. But what people today sit is something, that tapasya pose or the meditation pose, which is done by those rishis for a very different purpose after achieving that state of mind and body. So we are trying to imitate a rishi who has gone through a very strong process of achieving that state, purification of mind and body. And we are trying to sit like that, thinking that we are doing that. It cannot happen. It's a very, very long process. And if I link with the Vedas or Upanishads has got two main sections, Karam Kand and Dhyan Kand. So this life is all about karma and dharma of the humans. So when you do your karma as per dharma, if you understand what is dharma, and you based all your karmas are your roles and responsibilities in the society, and if you understand what a karma is and how the karma should be based on, then you become a perfect human being. Then your mind will be purified. And to understand dharma and ensure that all your karmas are based on dharma, that is actually sadhana. And if it is not happening as per that, then you have to bring those changes. That's sadhana. And as you do that slowly through self-inquiry, by living that way, you recondition your body and you reach that state of control of mind. And then your mind is in a state of dhyan, because the mind is now under control, and you focus on whatever you do. You live in the present moment, and then you have to work on purifying your body, eat very sattvic food, and do your exercises. You don't have to do so many yoga poses. That is asana. And you don't have to do pranayam. You breathe normally. Breathing is happening normally. You don't have to. But when God has given a way of breathing, why to tinker with it? God has told you, eat what is grown, eat raw. Only animals don't cook food, only humans started cooking food. Eat what is available naturally. Everything grows naturally. See the forest. Who's planted a forest? God has planted the forest. The nature has already provided everything. We started making things. So we deviated from the nature. So our body has suffered. We got ailments. Animals don't have hospitals. Only in the... You don't know how the animals survive and or do they... What happens to them if they are living naturally. We have problems with the pets because they are now living unnaturally because of us. So this is the aspect I thought I will highlight, and to tell you why people need meditation. Just give you another example. All those great success, so-called modern materialistically successful people, maybe some great sports person or film industry, some famous people, personalities, they all they all have been trying to find out how to meditate. Depression, mental health issues, they are existing more as people have acquired more and all. They are mentally unstable people. From outside you just don't come to know, but what's happening behind the doors, you have no idea. And there are, I don't want to take names of those film stars. I mean, if I say Deepika Padukone, she is a famous actress. She herself told she had mental health issues and she was under depressions. You look at Virat Kohli, the famous cricketer. A year back, he was going on spiritual travel so young because he does meditation, but obviously he doesn't know what is meditation. So he also went on a spiritual quest, spiritual hunt to find out what the hell is life. So Ronaldo, he does meditation. A lot of people do. So it's not, the point I'm telling is, by being so successful, having so much money, so much fame, still they are also searching for peace. Stress is the outcome of this life. But so where have you gone wrong? When you start finding out, then you realize what your mind is going through. But you don't know why. You don't want to find out why. We have ego, so we don't want to accept. So it's very difficult to recondition ourselves now and reverse engineer our whole conditioning. I think I have spoken a lot as a monologue, because if there is a class, we can have a conversation. But I do have many conversations, but you don't always carry a camera, or every conversation has to be recorded, because conversations or like a podcast can be much more, two-way interaction can be more interesting. But fine, it's a monologue, and I thought I will, I might have missed out many points. I'm not sure whether I explained it so well, but probably if you understand what I meant, I hope. And unfortunately, my videos are not getting now very popular. YouTube has capped my channel. It doesn't allow my videos to go up. So whoever sees it, fine, they benefit from it. Maybe someday in life it'll reach the wider audience. Thanks. Good luck.